Men over 60, if you have been feeling like your energy is not what it used to be, if you wake up tired even after a full night's sleep, or if you have noticed changes in your strength, your mood, or your confidence, I want you to listen closely because what I am about to share with you might surprise you. It might even shock you. The problem may not be your age. It may not be genetics. It may not even be stress or lack of exercise. The problem might be sitting right there on your dinner plate, disguised as healthy food. Hi, I am Dr. Ethan Blake, and I have spent over 15 years specializing in men's health, particularly helping men navigate the changes that come after 60. And in that time, I have seen something that most doctors either miss or choose to ignore. I have seen how certain vegetables, foods that we have been told our entire lives are good for us, can quietly and systematically destroy testosterone levels in older men. Not overnight, not dramatically, but slowly, steadily, year after year, until one day you wake up and wonder where your vitality went. Now, before you think I have lost my mind and that I'm about to tell you vegetables are bad, let me be clear. I am not anti-vegetable. I am not here to scare you away from eating plants. What I am here to do is open your eyes to something that the mainstream medical community rarely discusses. There are specific vegetables that contain compounds, natural compounds, that can interfere with your body's ability to produce and maintain healthy testosterone levels. And for men over 60, when testosterone is already declining naturally, these foods can be the difference between feeling strong and vital or feeling like a shadow of your former self. You see, most men think testosterone decline is inevitable. They think it is just part of getting older, something you have to accept and live with. But what if I told you that much of what we call natural aging is actually the result of accumulated damage from foods we eat every single day? What if the fatigue, the loss of muscle mass, the decreased motivation, the changes in your relationship with your partner, what if these are not just age, but the result of choices you can actually control? In this video, I'm going to walk you through 5 specific vegetables that millions of men over 60 eat regularly, thinking they are doing something good for their health, when in reality they are slowly undermining their hormonal balance. These are not exotic foods. These are not rare vegetables you have never heard of. These are common, everyday vegetables that you probably have in your refrigerator right now. Vegetables that your doctor might even recommend. Vegetables that appear in so-called healthy meal plans and senior nutrition guides. But here's what makes this even more concerning. The effects are not immediate. You do not eat these vegetables today and feel terrible tomorrow. Instead, they work quietly, behind the scenes, week after week, month after month, creating a slow decline that feels so gradual you barely notice it happening. Until one day you realize you do not feel like yourself anymore. You realize your energy is gone, your strength has faded, and that inner fire that made you feel like a man has dimmed to barely a flicker. Now I know some of you might be thinking, this sounds too simple. How could vegetables be causing such problems? And I understand the skepticism. We have been conditioned to believe that all vegetables are automatically good for us, that more vegetables always equals better health. But the truth is more nuanced than that. Just like some plants in nature can be poisonous, some vegetables contain compounds that, while not immediately harmful, can interfere with specific biological processes in your body. And for men over 60, when your hormonal system is already under stress from decades of life, these compounds can tip the balance in ways that dramatically affect how you feel and function. The science behind this is fascinating and disturbing at the same time. These vegetables contain what are called phytoestrogens and goitrogens. Now, do not worry about the fancy names. What you need to understand is this. Phytoestrogens are plant compounds that mimic estrogen in your body. When you consume them regularly, they can signal your body to produce less testosterone and more estrogen. For a man over 60, this is the last thing you want happening. Goitrogens, on the other hand, interfere with your thyroid function, and your thyroid plays a crucial role in maintaining healthy testosterone levels. When your thyroid is suppressed, your testosterone production suffers. But here's the part that really concerns me as a doctor. Most men have no idea this is happening to them. They go to their physician complaining of fatigue, low mood, decreased libido, loss of muscle mass, and what do they hear? They hear that it is normal aging. They hear about medications and treatments that mask symptoms but never address the root cause. They are told to accept it, to adjust their expectations to realize they are not 30 anymore. What they are not told is that simple dietary changes could restore much of what they have lost. They are not told that by eliminating certain foods and replacing them with better choices, they could feel decades younger. They are not told that their bodies are still capable of producing healthy levels of testosterone if they just stop interfering with the process. And that is exactly what we are going to address today. I am going to show you which vegetables are working against you, explain exactly how they interfere with your hormonal balance, and more importantly, I am going to give you practical alternatives. Foods that support testosterone production instead of undermining it. Foods that work with your body instead of against it. Now, I want to be honest with you about something. This information is not popular in mainstream medical circles. There are financial interests at play here. The food industry wants you to keep buying their products. The pharmaceutical industry profits when you need treatments for low testosterone. There is not much money to be made from telling you that simple dietary changes could solve many of your problems. But as a doctor who has seen the transformation that happens when men make these changes, I feel obligated to share this information with you. I have seen 65-year-old men regain energy they had not felt in decades. I have seen 70-year-old men rebuild muscle mass they thought was gone forever. I have seen marriages revitalized and confidence restored, all from understanding which foods support male hormonal health and which foods destroy it. This is not about chasing the fountain of youth or trying to turn back the clock completely. This is about giving your body the best possible chance to function optimally at your age. The 5 vegetables I'm about to reveal to you are consumed by millions of men every single day. They appear in salads, side dishes, soups, and smoothies. They are recommended by nutritionists and included in heart-healthy meal plans. But for men over 60, they can be quietly devastating to hormonal balance. And the tragic part is, most men eating these foods think they are doing something good for their health. So, if you have been struggling with low energy, if you have noticed changes in your body composition, if you feel like you have lost that edge that made you feel confident and strong, if you wake up tired or find yourself avoiding activities you used to love, then what I am about to share could be the missing piece of the puzzle you have been searching for. The first vegetable that is quietly sabotaging your testosterone levels is one that might shock you because it appears on almost every healthy eating list for seniors. It is spinach. Now, before you throw your hands up and think I have completely lost it, hear me out. Spinach contains high levels of oxalates, compounds that bind to minerals in your body and prevent their absorption. But more importantly for men over 60, spinach is loaded with compounds that directly interfere with testosterone production. You see, spinach contains naturally occurring plant estrogens that send mixed signals to your endocrine system. When you eat spinach regularly, especially raw spinach in salads or smoothies, you are flooding your system with these estrogen-like compounds. Your body starts to respond as if estrogen levels are rising, which triggers a corresponding drop in testosterone production. It is like having a conversation where someone keeps interrupting you. Eventually, you just stop talking. But here's what makes this even more problematic. Most men over 60 have been told that leafy greens are essential for heart health, for preventing disease, for maintaining energy. So they dutifully add spinach to their daily routine. They blend it into morning smoothies. They order spinach salads at restaurants. They steam it as a side dish, thinking they are doing their bodies a favor. Meanwhile, their testosterone levels are slowly declining, week by week, month by month. I had a patient, Robert, who came to see me at 62 complaining of fatigue and loss of motivation. He was eating spinach every single day, sometimes twice a day, because his wife had read that it was a superfood for men his age. When we eliminated spinach from his diet and replaced it with testosterone-supporting alternatives, his energy levels began to improve within weeks. Not because spinach is poison, but because his body finally stopped receiving those daily signals to suppress testosterone production. The second vegetable that is working against your hormonal health is broccoli. Now, I know this sounds crazy because broccoli has been hailed as one of the healthiest vegetables on the planet. And in many ways, it is beneficial. But for men over 60 who are already dealing with declining testosterone, broccoli contains compounds called glucosinolates that break down into substances that can suppress thyroid function. Your thyroid and your testosterone production are intimately connected. When your thyroid is not functioning optimally, it sends a cascade of signals throughout your endocrine system that ultimately results in reduced testosterone production. Broccoli, especially when eaten raw or lightly cooked, delivers these thyroid-suppressing compounds directly into your system. And if you are eating broccoli regularly, which many health-conscious men do, you are creating a constant state of mild thyroid suppression. But the problem goes deeper than just thyroid interference. Broccoli also contains high levels of fiber that can bind to testosterone in your digestive tract and help eliminate it from your body before it can be utilized. So not only is broccoli potentially interfering with testosterone production, it may also be helping your body get rid of the testosterone it does manage to produce. Think about this for a moment. How many times have you been told to eat more broccoli? How many meal plans include steamed broccoli as a side dish? How many restaurants serve broccoli as the default healthy vegetable option? Yet for men over 60, this seemingly innocent vegetable could be contributing to the very symptoms they are trying to avoid by eating healthy. The third vegetable on this list might surprise you even more because it is often recommended specifically for men's health. It is kale. Kale has been promoted as a superfood, packed into green juices and smoothies, recommended by nutritionists and health gurus everywhere. But kale contains some of the highest levels of goitrogens of any commonly consumed vegetable. Goitrogens are compounds that interfere with iodine uptake in your thyroid gland. And when your thyroid cannot get the iodine it needs to function properly, it begins to slow down. A sluggish thyroid means reduced metabolism, lower energy levels, and significantly decreased testosterone production. For men over 60 whose thyroid function may already be declining naturally, regular kale consumption can be the tipping point that pushes their hormonal system out of balance. But here's what makes kale particularly problematic. Because it has been marketed so heavily as a health food, many men consume it in large quantities. They drink kale smoothies for breakfast. They eat kale salads for lunch. They add kale chips as a healthy snack. They are getting massive doses of these thyroid-suppressing compounds day after day, wondering why they feel more tired and less motivated despite eating so healthily. I remember a patient named Frank who was 67 and had started drinking green smoothies every morning because his daughter convinced him it would help him age better. The smoothies contained large amounts of raw kale. Over the course of 6 months, he noticed his energy declining, his sleep becoming restless, and his overall sense of well-being diminishing. When we removed kale from his diet and focused on thyroid-supporting foods instead, his transformation was remarkable. His energy returned, his sleep improved, and he felt like himself again. The fourth vegetable that is quietly undermining your testosterone is one that appears in countless healthy recipes and meal plans for seniors. It is cauliflower. Like its cruciferous relatives, cauliflower contains compounds that can interfere with normal hormonal function, but it has an additional problem that makes it particularly troublesome for men over 60. Cauliflower contains high levels of a compound called indole 3-carbinol, which your body converts into substances that promote estrogen metabolism while simultaneously suppressing testosterone production. When you eat cauliflower regularly, you are essentially telling your body to favor estrogen pathways over testosterone pathways. For a man over 60, this is moving in exactly the wrong direction. But the real issue with cauliflower is how it has been positioned in the modern diet. It is used as a low-carb substitute for rice, potatoes, and pasta. Men trying to eat healthier are consuming cauliflower rice with dinner, cauliflower mash instead of potatoes, cauliflower pizza crusts, cauliflower everything. They are getting much larger quantities of these hormone-disrupting compounds than they would if they were just eating occasional servings as a side vegetable. And here is something that will really concern you. The processing that turns cauliflower into these substitute foods often concentrates these problematic compounds. Cauliflower rice, cauliflower flour, and other processed cauliflower products can deliver even higher doses of testosterone-suppressing substances than the whole vegetable itself. The fifth and final vegetable that is systematically destroying your testosterone levels is one that might be the most shocking of all because it has been promoted as a longevity food, especially for older adults. It is Brussels sprouts. These small green vegetables are packed with the same goitrogenic compounds we have been discussing, but they have an additional property that makes them particularly dangerous for men over 60. Brussels sprouts contain extremely high levels of sulfur compounds that, while beneficial in small amounts, can overwhelm your liver's detoxification pathways when consumed regularly. Your liver is responsible for metabolizing and clearing excess estrogen from your body. When your liver is overloaded with sulfur compounds from Brussels sprouts, it becomes less efficient at this crucial task. The result is that estrogen levels begin to climb, while testosterone levels fall. But here's what makes this even more concerning. Brussels sprouts have become trendy. They appear on restaurant menus roasted with bacon or balsamic glaze. They are recommended in anti-aging diets. They are included in meal delivery services targeted at health-conscious seniors. Men are eating them thinking they are making smart choices for their health, not realizing they are contributing to hormonal imbalance. I had a patient named David who was 64 and had started eating Brussels sprouts 3 times a week because he read they could help prevent cancer. Over several months, he noticed his motivation declining, his workouts becoming more difficult, and his relationship with his wife suffering. When we identified Brussels sprouts as a potential culprit and eliminated them from his diet, replacing them with liver-supporting and testosterone-friendly alternatives, his vitality began to return within a matter of weeks. Now I know what some of you are thinking. If these vegetables are so problematic, what am I supposed to eat? How do I get my nutrients without harming my hormonal balance? This is exactly the right question to ask, and I have good news for you. There are plenty of vegetables that support testosterone production instead of undermining it. Vegetables like asparagus, which contains compounds that naturally support testosterone synthesis. Root vegetables like sweet potatoes and carrots, which provide the nutrients your endocrine system needs without the hormone-disrupting compounds. Herbs like parsley and cilantro, which help your liver process and eliminate excess estrogen more efficiently. The key is understanding that not all vegetables are created equal, especially for men over 60. Your body has different needs now than it did when you were younger. Your hormonal system is more sensitive to disruption. Your liver may not process compounds as efficiently as it once did. Your thyroid may be more susceptible to interference. This does not mean you need to eliminate vegetables from your diet completely. It means you need to be strategic about which vegetables you choose and how often you consume them. It means understanding that sometimes the foods we think are helping us are actually working against our goals. If you have been eating any of these 5 vegetables regularly and you recognize the symptoms I have described, low energy, decreased motivation, changes in body composition, sleep problems, relationship issues, then I encourage you to try eliminating them for 30 days and see how you feel. Replace them with testosterone-supporting alternatives and give your body a chance to rebalance itself. Your body is still capable of producing healthy levels of testosterone. Your energy can return, your strength can be rebuilt, your confidence can be restored. But it requires making informed choices about what you put on your plate every single day. Remember, you're not destined to accept decline simply because you are over 60. You have more control over how you feel and function than you have been led to believe. Sometimes the most powerful changes come from the simplest adjustments to what you eat. If this information has opened your eyes to something you had not considered before, I encourage you to share this video with other men who might benefit from understanding these connections. Subscribe to this channel for more insights into men's health after 60, because your best years do not have to be behind you. They can be right ahead of you, starting with your very next meal. Thank you for watching, and remember, knowledge is power, but only when you act on it. Your health is in your hands.